somebody asked her, is it tough to keep going on the campaign trail? And she's like, let me tell you something. I'm doing it for my country. Okay, it wasn't even that much. So everybody's on the attack. There's two different lines of attack on this. Number one, this is an Ed Muskie moment. Ed Muskie is the guy running for president, broke down and cried, and that's it. Everybody said, oh, he's weak, he's a wuss, he can't handle being president. That's it, and it totally destroyed his chance of becoming president. So I think it was Think Progress put together a little clip of all the commentators being like, Ed Muskie moment, Muskie moment, Muskie, Ed Muskie, oh, weak, terrible, weak, ineffectual, terrible, can't handle being president, right? This is about to get good, so hang in there, right? So that's the one side. The other side is the conservatives who are like, oh, she wasn't really crying. It's calculating. She calculates every single nanosecond of her life. If she did something, it must be, like, remember when she laughed? They're like, huh, yeah, it was a calculated laugh. She overlaughs to try to compensate for her insecurities. And now when she cries, they're like, oh, of course. She's crying because she wants to display emotion and, you know, show that she's a woman and connect to the voters. So she's either calculating or terribly weak. Now, this by itself is already annoying enough and ridiculous enough. But now when you juxtapose it to what people have said, and the same media guys, when other candidates have cried, luckily we have the quotes, thanks to Think Progress. When Mitt Romney cried, he teared up a little bit, his eyes filled with tears on Monday, which was, you know, about a month ago, as the Republican presidential contender recalled watching the casket of a soldier killed in Iraq return to the United States and imagine if it were one of his 5 sons. Well, that's what they claim. Adding a poignant twist to a story he often tells on the campaign, Romney recalled the scene at Boston's Logan International Airport while he was Massachusetts governor. So when Romney does it, it's poignant. It's moving. It's genuine. It's heartfelt. Oh, God, what a great guy Romney is. Well, actually, here's that was the Associated Press. Here's Newsweek. So actually, I think it does have an impact. It's a genuine moment. It seems genuine. So when Romney, Robo-Romney, Plastic Man Greaseball does it, it's genuine. But when Hillary does it, it's calculated. Based on what? Based on what? How do you know what Romney meant when he was crying and what Hillary meant when she was crying? Okay, how about George W. Bush? The pictures were just what the White House wanted. A teary-eyed President Bush presenting the Medal of Honor posthumously to a slain war hero in the East Room. So when Bush does it, it's so great that that's actually the moment they wanted to create. Oh, thank God he's crying. All right, that's terrific. A tear rolled down Bush's cheek during the event, an extraordinary display of emotion by the Commander-in-Chief. Get a load of that. That's the Chicago Sun-Times. Get a load of that. When Bush does it, it's an extraordinary display of emotion by the Commander-in-Chief. When Hillary does it, oh, what a weakling. She can't be Commander-in-Chief. She cries. Do you remember George H.W. Bush during a presentation for Jeb Bush down in Florida? We ran it here on the show. Crying like a baby. Okay, look, here's the thing. You know, everybody wanted to make fun of that, etc. But you know what? I said, give the guy a break. He's emotional over his son. He's a little older. It's okay. But Hillary, she didn't even cry. She teared up a little bit. Newsweek, again. The president is tremendously sentimental. Forget about putting his parents anywhere near him. At his inauguration, he purposely kept them out of his line of sight so he could stay as dry-eyed as possible. He has learned not to brush the tears away. When he does it, he's extremely sentimental. What a good guy he is. When Hillary does it, that little weak, conniving bitch. Okay? That's the message we get. Here's Defense Secretary Robert Gates. BBC says, when talking about him crying, he brings a more human side to the role of Defense Secretary. Who's talking about how Hillary's human? No. She's a calculating robot and totally weak. Okay. Here's NBC News. Tonight we have a rare glimpse of emotion from a man who normally carefully chooses words. Again, talking about Defense Secretary Robert Gates. All glowing. And George H.W. Bush, the New York Times, described him wiping away the tears as he recalled praying at Camp David before ordering the start of the Persian Gulf War. President Bush today offered a testimony of emotion, politics, and faith to a cheering crowd of thousands of Southern Baptists. When he cries, it's a sign of faith. When Hillary does it, weak. So wait, I guess George H.W. Bush and George W. Bush couldn't be president because they've cried. I mean, it's the same logic, right? First of all, I should probably take that back because George W. Bush turned out couldn't be president. So I don't want to use that as a comparison point, as an analogy.